Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. I do hope you decide to subscribe. And if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back once again. So my usual disclaimer, today's video is strictly for educational purposes. Please do not go searching out for anybody that I talk about in this video. Don't send them any form of hate, comment, threats, or violence. This channel does not support any of that. So today was a video that I came across, and it was made by a palm-colored man who happens to be in Sierra Leone in Africa, in a diamond mine field. Let me just go right ahead and play his video.
I'm in a natural diamond mine right now. Here in this remote part of Sierra Leone, these guys are searching for diamonds. The way they do it is during the dry season, when the water's not there, they pack away all of this mud, and during the wet season, they crush it down, and then one shovelful at a time, they throw it into something called a rocker, where they wash away the mud, and what's left is the gravel that's later to be packed away because it may contain a diamond. Now, when people hear Sierra Leone, they usually think conflict or blood diamond, but they don't understand that this is the only source of livelihood for some of these people, and there's something threatening to take that away. And that, of course, is the lab diamond, which is considered to be conflict-free, but of course there is a conflict. It's taking away the opportunity from some of the poorest people in the world to make their living. And that's why we're here, and I'm here with Martin Rappaport to explain what that's all about.
There's a reason God gave diamonds to the poorest people in the world and made the richest desire them. And fixing that connection is what the diamond business is really about. Behind the diamond business are the people.
Right.
And people are more important than diamonds.
I want to thank Martin for inviting me out here, and I want to thank the beautiful people of Sierra Leone.
So I don't know, how did you guys feel watching that video? Because when I watched it and he was talking about how they are mining diamonds and we should not be thinking of it as blood diamonds, we should think of it as these people's source of livelihood, like this is the only thing they can do to make money. So you all are helping them, basically. You all are just helping them survive. That's what it is now. And then he's talking about how now the natural diamonds are being threatened because they are lab diamonds. They are basically diamonds that are being created in labs right now as better options, because there's a lot of conflict surrounding these diamonds that are gotten in Sierra Leone. They are basically called blood diamonds because of the amount of suffering and everything that goes into those diamonds, the harvesting and the mining of those diamonds, how people have to suffer, how people are being displaced, how these people are being paid little to nothing to work for these big companies and corporations. So obviously the two white guys in that video are from a jewelry company that's in the US, I think, from the information that I gathered. So they are there to basically let us know that if these lab diamonds take over, these poor people in Sierra Leone who depend on this diamond mining as their only source of livelihood are going to be out of jobs. So basically what they are doing is for the betterment, is in the best interests of the poorest people in the world. You know what? Let's just play some of the reactions.
But they don't understand that this is the only source of livelihood for some of these people.
I beg your fucking pardon? I beg your fucking pardon? The only source of work for these people. What if I told you? What if I told you the reason why there is no work other than them working in these diamond fields is on purpose? You know that, right? The reason why their nation is so destabilized and has been raped and pillaged is because of these natural resources that Sierra Leone or Congo or Malawi and et cetera, multiple African nations. There is a reason why these nations are impoverished, yet are enriched with such rich natural resource. It's almost as if if they let these countries become so destabilized and that these people, these working people, would not have any, good source of livelihood, then they can justify paying them rats shit
Exactly.
for slave labor, essentially being slaves. And this man's like, oh yeah, there's a risk to their livelihood is lab diamonds because it's essentially conflict free. But it's like these people won't have any jobs. I'm pretty sure slave owners said the same thing about slavery. Well, if we free these enslaved peoples, what are they gonna do for work? They're not gonna have any jobs. They're not gonna have a means to stay themselves. We give them a house. We give them food. We give them. You really came to somebody else's country with your American accent and is trying to somehow not only justify using blood diamonds, but justify using underpaid, exploited labor. Quick question. How much do you pay these people? Since you seem to care so much about their livelihood, how much do these people get paid for these for this labor? How long? How many hours do they work? How young are we talking are these workers? Like, I need to know all this stuff since you want to justify the diamond industry that has raped and pillaged Africa. Not even just diamonds, lithium,
Cobalt,
oil, etc., etc. Africa has been pillaged and destroyed by multinational corporations and the Western world. Yes. And this man's really coming on the internet to say, God bless the poorest countries and make the rich desire them. What if I told you? What if I told you? What if I told you that the only reason why these people are rich is because of said natural resources? Why do you think the British got these crown jewels? Where do you think they came from? I'll give you a hint. It's in England.
I'm in a natural diamond mine, right?
It's hard to believe that there are still people in the world that think like this. That creators in the Sierra Leone trying to tell us how the blood diamond mine industry is still okay. Trying to convince us that the workers of the mine like the grueling labor and the exploitation they're facing in the region. Men, women, and children are sifting through the dirt over there for diamonds. Long hours, grueling work, just for less than $1 a day. Even though the Sierra Leone is one of the
he just said less than $1 a day.
most resource rich, they still don't have potable water in many parts of the country. Even though the owners of these mines, they have the money to invest in safer conditions and invest in the area, they choose not to because it would affect their profits. And this creator is trying to convince me and you that they like living like this. The children in these mines wouldn't prefer to be in school. They wouldn't prefer to live in a place that had running water and roads. Even though we live in a time where we can grow diamonds artificially, there's no need to exploit these people like this anymore. But he got on TikTok trying to propagandize you and me to try to convince us that they need to be exploited, that the suffering in these mines is necessary for a shiny rock and aesthetic. This whole TikTok was not the flex that he thought it was. We need to actually be investing in these countries and not just taking advantage of them.
I'm in a natural diamond mine right now. Here in this remote part of Sierra Leone, these guys are...
You can't make this shit up.
At all.
This is the problem. You Western world motherfuckers. In that video, he says that this is the only source of income for some of the poorest people. If this was the source of income, they wouldn't be poor.
Exactly. Source of income, and they are still working in those conditions. Are they even able to make enough to feed their families, to send their children to school? I mean, look at the way those men look. Do they look like people that are being paid well? Do they look like people that are happy to be there? They are the poorest people in the world, but they have something that rich people want. So if the rich people were paying them well enough, would they still remain that poor?
If this was for their benefit, you wouldn't have been walking with an armed guard, a militia member from Sierra Leone. You wouldn't be there with Mr. Rappaport the Jewish blood diamond merchant. Because that's exactly what he is. He's not there to help those people. He's there to line his pockets. Now, if it came down to the conflict-free diamonds that were created over those blood diamonds, I would take the conflict-free, genetically created, blood-free diamonds any day of the week.
Exactly.
Those people didn't look happy to be out there digging for those diamonds.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
It's fucking parasites like you who need to stay the fuck out of Africa.
I'm in a natural diamond mine right now.
This is honestly one of the more evil TikToks I've seen because it uses very humanitarian language and progressive language to support the diamond mining industry in Sierra Leone and say that it is moral to buy diamonds from them and not moral to buy it somewhere else. Because to start, it's not hard to see that mining conditions are often really horrible. The money that these diamonds generate generally don't transfer to the people actually digging them out of the ground. At least not a lot of it. You're hardly even really supporting them when you buy a diamond. You're supporting the business, the mining operation. And it's clear that these diamond operations don't pay them well because if they've been mining diamonds their whole lives, they wouldn't be that poor still if they were getting a fair share. You wouldn't have to have a guy with a gun watching over them. While some people probably rely on the incomes they get from diamond mining, that's not an argument for supporting the system that's exploiting them forever. Because we shouldn't support the system that makes them do backbreaking, dangerous work for almost no pay. We should be trying to find ways that are sustainable, that will actually nurture their lives. Boo.
Here in this remote part of Sierra Leone, these guys...
Y'all go watch the rest of that video because you're going to be as mad as I am. Don't go buy nothing from these folks. Don't go buy nothing from these people. Man's literally just sat there in front of them people, didn't interview them, didn't talk to them, just explain their whole situation without even trying to get any type of information from them. And his information is wrong because lab-grown diamonds are helping them. Because do you see the conditions that they working in? Like, for real? Like, has he not heard the term blood diamond? I'm going to show y'all their location one more time. Do not go buy nothing from these people.
For some of these people,
the younger generation's being brainwashed by TikTok to hate America and hate capitalism and hate the West. You want to know why? Maybe it's because we're seeing videos like this being shot in plain sight, being used to justify modern day slavery. Later on in that video, there's like some guy talking about how God gave the poorest people of the world the richest material to like build strength between the people, like some obvious fucking bullshit. On a more serious note though, we're probably going to see a lot more videos like this from accounts romanticizing these blood diamond fields. And we need to start treating them the same way we treat people who romanticize slave plantations. Because this is how we end up with shit like enslaved people benefited from slavery. You want to know why they're trying to ban teaching of accurate history? Because it's happening again, right fucking now.
You know what will never cease to amaze me? Is the way they kind of always drag God into their evil, into their wickedness. Like, y'all make God seem like he created you people to oppress the poor. And you people also somehow infuse that white savior complex. So these people don't have any other source of income or livelihood. So we are here to help them so that they can mine and then we'll buy it off of them. God bless these poor people, poorest countries in the world with these diamonds that we rich people want. Is that the way it works? If rich people want those diamonds that the poor people were blessed with, the poor people in quote, because that's a very disrespectful way to refer to the people of Sierra Leone. But let's use your term. The poorest people in the world, God bless them with that so that they could connect with the rich because they have something the rich wants. If the rich were paying them well enough for the diamonds they've been getting from those people's hard work and suffering all these years, would they still be poor? So, like, obviously, you guys are not paying them well enough. It is slave labor they are doing there. People are dying, working in harsh conditions, children. It is called blood diamonds for a reason. People's blood are on those diamonds. And now that they can actually create this diamond, an alternative to these diamonds in the laboratory, now you guys are seeing that your industry is at risk, and then you're fighting tooth and nail to make sure that people pick the blood diamonds over the ones that are produced in the lab, that are free from the stain of blood and people's sufferings and cries. Now you're telling them, oh, if you go for the lab diamonds, these poor people will be left with no jobs. But if you gave people the option to pick between the lab one and the blood one, that's people with a heart, because I know it's not everybody that has a heart. People will pick the ones that do not have the stain of people's bloods on them, the ones produced in the lab. And you guys are threatened by that. So now there's an alternative. Why are they fighting to keep these people in suffering and pain and taking advantage of them? Like, you guys, seriously, it's the white savior complex for me. At the end of the day, you guys are doing the poor people in Sierra Leone a favor by going there and making them to work in those conditions and paying them peanuts. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think about that video. There were a lot more stitches than that. People were shocked. People were disgusted by that video and surprised that the video is even still up. They've not taken the video down. I was surprised because the comment section was given. People were coming for them in the comment section, and the video is still up there on TikTok, on their company's TikTok page, if I may add. Anyway, you guys, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Did you know about blood diamonds? What do you think about them trying to justify it so that people will keep buying the blood diamonds as opposed to the laboratory created ones that are better options, in my opinion? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.